Hey everyone, this is Holly from Hot Humble Pie. Look who came to visit me in my backyard again this year. We got our first snow. I am so excited. I left some food out for my little animals, and I've got some awesome last minute 5-minute Christmas DIYs to share with you today. And as always, I hope you enjoy the show. For this one, you're going to be grabbing a Dollar Tree candlestick. You can use any color you want. I'm going with the white one, and I am using a foam ball. This is the one that comes in a package of 2. I don't know if they go any bigger than this. I think this is the biggest foam ball at Dollar Tree, but I could be wrong. And you can choose any size foam ball you want for this. This is just the one I wanted to use. And I'm using a little bit of the hot glue, and I'm going to glue half of the foam ball, I cut it in half, on top of the candlestick. Next, we have this awesome Santa head ornament from Dollar Tree. I absolutely love this. For those of you that have been following the Walmart shopping videos, there's that Santa head that everybody was getting. It's like a plaster of Paris Santa head, and people were painting it, making it look gorgeous, and it was sold out. So I thought, you know what? I love it. I'm going to make a Santa head myself, and we're going to do it even cheaper using Dollar Tree supplies. So you're going to grab a stick. I used a stick that I had cut from a paint stick, but you could use a craft stick for this. That would work just fine. And you're going to glue it on the back of your Santa. I decided to tack his hat down just to bring it closer to his head. That's just my preference. You don't have to do that, but I thought that looked nice. Next, I grabbed some extra ticking stripe ribbon that I had, and you can use any ribbon for this. You can even use fabric. It's just I had a little bit left of this, and I thought, oh, it would be perfect for this. And I'm just going to cover that stick just to make it look a little nicer. Now, you're not going to see the back of it when we're all done. I just wanted to do that finishing touch because it's not a 3D head, so I wanted to make sure the back of it looked nice and finished. And I'm just using hot glue. I went back and forth zigzagging over the wood, and I'm pressing the ribbon down. Next, you're going to stick this inside your foam ball. I'm going to just stick it down, just like that. So now we've got the head stuck on the foam ball, and we're going to grab some different kinds of pine. So you're going to see me use 3 different types in this DIY. I'm using Norfolk pine right now. I believe I use that other thicker pine. I don't know what that's called. Well, you'll see. You'll be able to recognize them in the store. And if you go to Dollar Tree, there's different kinds of pine there as well. Some is flocked, some is sparkly, some is plain. This is actually this one right here, the Norfolk. I did have to order it off of Amazon. I will leave the link down below in my description box, but I couldn't find anything like this from the Dollar Tree, although the Dollar Tree pine would work. And you're just going to start staking all of your florals inside this foam ball all the way around. So I'm going to make like a skirt underneath this head of pine. And now this DIY admittedly did take me a little over 5 minutes. I think it took me more like 10 minutes, but that's only because I didn't have a model to go by. I was making it up, and I kept stopping and thinking where I wanted to put things. You know what I mean? Normally, like if I had a photo of this and I saw, oh, I want to make that. I want to reproduce that. Then it's only a matter of gathering all of your floral picks that you want to use, half a styrofoam ball, gluing it on top of the candlestick, and just staking all of those florals in the styrofoam ball. It's super easy. You're just gluing that craft stick on the back of the head, staking the head, staking the florals, and you're done. But when you're making things from scratch, I'm sure you guys can relate to this, for those of you that craft a lot and you're creative, it's going to take a little longer if you don't have anything to go by, because you have to decide for the first time ever, especially because I've never seen anything done like this before, where you're going to put everything. So I like to stop and think about it for a minute, but I know that if I saw a picture of it, I would have gone, okay, this is easy. I'm just going to grab all the stuff, styrofoam ball, and just make it go really quick, and it could be 5 minutes easily. So that's why it's listed as a 5-minute DIY. So I'm using 2 of the gold little baubles from Dollar Tree. I took some leftover lace curtains that I had, just a strip of it, tied a bow, and now I'm using the Dollar Tree lace, and I did another bow, and I'm going to put that bow on top of the other lace bow. I just added a bow in there. I don't know why, I just thought that was cute. And I added 2 pine cones behind it. Now I added a bunch of florals behind it. You'll see I just pile up pine and everything, so you don't actually see the back of the head. That's what I was saying. Plus, it's on my fireplace mantle, so you really don't see the back of the head. And now I'm grabbing some berries. I'm going to stake those in there too. And just all in all, I'm just taking different florals, different Christmas, whatever you have, literally any kind of Christmas seasonal floral thing that you want, you just stake it in there underneath the Santa head. Now here comes the other type of pine when I told you I added other pine. And you can see when I added that you could use any kind of pine for this project, but I really think what leveled it up was using all the different types of pine. It really gives it such beautiful dimension. And I just wanted little chunkier areas here and there too to help cover up the foam. But again, you could use pine cones or a bell or baubles or whatever. You could even do all baubles under him. I mean, have fun with this one. You could really go crazy and glue whatever makes you. Oh, and here comes the third right there. That's the other type of pine that I use. I think I only put one sprig of that in there. I don't actually think I did a lot of accents with that one, maybe two. And then I did have to extend the length on this one because it didn't look like the full skirt, but we're all done and he's absolutely gorgeous. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love it if you hit that button. For this one, grab a can. I am using this classic decaf coffee can, but any can will do. I just happen to have a husband who drinks a ton of coffee. It's decaf. It's so cute. He's from England and it's part of his culture, just the comfort of a warm drink. And he drinks coffee all day. So they actually used to make those coffee cans not too long ago out of metal. And they have recently, within the last 2 years, changed it to like this. I don't know what it is. I think it's like a cardboard. I'm not sure what that is, but I actually think I might like it better because you can bend it, you can really manipulate it. I've got some great ideas. So you're going to grab 2 of the Dollar Tree mop heads and you're just going to hot glue it around this can. And I did have to cut the second one to fit in the back, but it's so furry and fluffy that you do not see the seams when you push it all together. They're invisible. And I am using Surebond or hot glue. I've tried them all, and this is the one I've settled on. I'm not sponsored. I don't make any money, but it is a really good glue. And I found it in bulk. The large ones, you have to have a large glue gun for this one on Amazon, and it's actually way cheaper than the glue sticks at Dollar Tree, so it's a good thing to know. So I just grabbed a snowflake here. You can grab any ornament, any Christmas ornament. It's just I chose the snowflake because I want this to be my decor piece for Christmas and go through the winter season as well. So since I am aiming for winter decor here, I'm just going to keep mine all green and fill it with different kinds of pine. I just use the cedar pine, and it's listed as cedar for both the thicker one and the thinner one, so I think one's pine needles and one is just cedar pine, but that could be a typo on Amazon, I'm not sure. But this is so happy and cozy and cuddly and furry. It is perfect for winter decor. Grab yourself a Dollar Tree canvas and one of the cedar pine branches. So for those of you that have followed me from day one, you might remember Christmas 2021, I made a plate where I glued a branch down like this and made the pine trees that way because I was like too intimidated to paint it. So I thought, hey, these pine branches look like they could pass for a pine tree. So after that, I saw lots of different variations, and you know what? It's a great idea. And you just tack it down. That's all I'm doing right now. I'm just putting a little tiny bit of hot glue because you don't want it oozing over the edges. So go light with your hot glue. And I'm just gluing the little branches down. And if you need to cut some or snip some at the top to make it work, do that. Now you could stop right here and just do one branch only. I think this is a great look for the minimalist look, absolutely. But I wanted to do it a little bit thicker. So I went ahead and added another branch on top of this branch. And you're going to do the exact same thing. You're just going to use a little hot glue to tack the branches down here and there. With this one, you might want to move them around a little bit to make it look more full if you're going for the fuller look like I did. And next, we're going to take some fairy lights. Now, to make this a 5-minute DIY, you would just take those fairy lights and loop them around in and out of the pine. That's the motivating reason for sure to use 2 pine branches, because you can hide the wire better underneath the second little pick that you used. But I thought, you know what? I just want to really quick do it this way. I just took some tweezers and started poking holes because it only takes like an extra 5 minutes again. I think this one took me 10 minutes instead of the 5 minutes. But to make it a 5-minute DIY, you would just loop the little fairy lights, or you skip the fairy lights altogether, but you would just loop them in and out around the pine. I just went ahead and poked holes and then stuck the little fairy lights through the holes. And look at that. Isn't that cute? I love this one. It is so happy. This is a dopamine rush for sure. This is so cute. And all I did was take some masking tape, tape the back to kind of secure it. I glued the little battery pack facing upwards in case I need to change the battery, and I glued a star on the top, and boom, we've got a light up Christmas tree. Great shelf sitter, mantle, entryway. I love this one. Let me know what you think. Found this cute little round disc like hanging sign. This would actually make a good doorknob decor piece for Christmas too. I was thinking that when I bought it. But here's a fast one for you. And of course, I tried to peel the paper off, and it was only because it was hanging over the edge. But in truth, I gave up. I didn't want to wet it because, I don't know, I just didn't want to wet it. I thought it might come off. Sometimes these come off easy. So what I ended up doing is just grabbing some of my Christmas craft paper and putting it on the back to cover the back so it looks nice. See that pretty paper to the left? We're just going to cover the back, each one of these discs, with that one. And here's your 3 cute Santas that I made for you today. I actually designed these. Aren't they cute? I wanted them in green, red, and white. They're like Victorian Santas. And the trick here is you do have to hold the paper up to the light. I didn't show that, but you can see where I had to erase and do it again because I realized if I cut it, the head was going to be crooked. You want to center them. So hold your paper up, make sure you've got it straight. And I just cut them out. And of course, now we're just going to take a glue stick. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed that I used a glue stick for the back paper as well. I have really good luck with glue sticks. This is just a Dollar Tree glue stick. It's nothing fancy. And it stops it from wrinkling. Of course, you can do the Mod Podge route, do it that way. But this is easier and it works just as good. I do seal these with Mod Podge, but I'm just going to glue all these Santas on the front of the disc. And then I'm going to clean the edges up with a little bit of sandpaper. Oh, and the Santas will be a free printable down below in my description box. There's a link and you click it and it will take you to it. And then you just glue it right back on again. It's that simple. And again, this is going to make such a great decor. Like, you know how you hang them off your doorknob? I just thought that would be so cute. You can hang this off the doorknob. The loop is a little bit too small for big fat doorknobs. It works for the ones that are skinnier, but you can always change the loop and make it bigger or add one. You can even you could paint the beads in between. I mean, you could make this as simple or as sophisticated as you want. And here I go with the Mod Podge. I'm sealing it in, and I am using the gloss Mod Podge this time. I did want these to be really shiny. Sometimes I'm in the mood for matte, but this time I wanted shiny, and we're all done. Oh my gosh, this one is so cute. I found this bendable microfiber duster here from Dollar Tree, and the little handle screws off. So I liked the bottom of this better for the shape that I wanted. And I just took some, I believe those are needle nose, and I bent the top because I couldn't cut it. It was too thick. I mean, if you have a heavy duty saw that cuts metal, you could cut through that, but bending it works just as well. So, and it wasn't too hard to do. So I just bent it. Now I'm taking one of those Dollar Tree boxes right there that you see with the heart. That's going to be the base. And I'm using a pool noodle, and I'm just cutting it nice and level so it doesn't make it all wonky, I guess. For those of you, if you're guessing here, we're going to make a tree out of this. This is a super fast, high-end looking DIY. It looks so pretty when it's done. And I just hot glued this down upside down. Now, it's because my duster, for whatever reason, the little bristles were shorter at the top, which is why I ended up turning it upside down and using the handle part, because it just naturally fell into the shape of a tree and the other side didn't. But if you're lucky and you find a duster where the bottom of it, the opposite is true, then the metal part that you saw me bend after I took off the handle, you wouldn't have to bend that, and that would be a natural stake to stake into the foam and it would hold your tree up. But I lost that when I had to turn it upside down, so I am parting it like hair here. You guys see that? I'm parting it like hair, and I'm just going to secure a skewer stick in there from the Dollar Tree all the way down. I do break off the top, so obviously it's not showing at the top, but that gives it the support that it needs to hold, to hold it up so it's not wobbly. After that, there's just some quick fluffing up to be done so that you don't see the skewer stick, and a little bit of trimming here and there because some of the threads are not even. You just tidy it up a little bit. Takes seconds to do. And then I'm taking a snowflake to glue on, or a stick, it's actually already sticky, to glue it on the front, and I glued one over the heart in the back as well. There's like a bigger one. I put like a disc, and then I put that. I didn't film that, but I put the snowflake on the back as well. And now to cover the metal piece that I bent, because I'm dealing with the metal piece. So if you guys don't have to deal with that, you could skip that part. I just wrapped some yarn up there, right there. Sorry, that was out of camera view. And then I have these leftover leaves from a floral that I used. I believe these were flowers, and I keep the leaves for pumpkins or whatever, but I thought it would pass for holly. And I just wanted to keep this really simple. So I just put 3 little leaves up there, 3 little red berries. That was it. That was the top of my tree. And oh my gosh, you guys, wait till you see when it's all done. It is so cute. It's just this unique, fluffy, soft looking tree. And by the way, that is hot glue stuck on my thumb there, my right thumb. That's not paint. I couldn't get the glue off. Sure, Bonder glue is very good. But anyway, you guys will have to let me know what you think about it down below in the comments. Grab yourself this felt ornament kit from Dollar Tree. This one is the gingerbread man, and it comes in a set of 5. So there's 5 little gingerbread men in there, and you can skip this part. I'm going to be using this cereal box. Cereal boxes are great. They're smooth. They're like free poster board. I love them. I love anything free. But I'm going to be using it as a brace so my gingerbread man isn't wobbly and flimsy, not wobbly, flimsy. And if you don't have those felt little ornament kits at your Dollar Tree, or you're one of my international viewers, you can just get a gingerbread man template from online, trace it onto a cereal box or cracker box or any kind of box like that, and go from there. So you don't absolutely have to have the felt, although the felt does help with the texture a little bit, but it's very nominal, so it's not going to make a big difference. But, it's just fine tuning it. And of course, you can skip the cereal box and just use the felt if you don't mind them being flimsy, and it makes the DIY faster. So I'm just gluing them on the front of the cereal box so that the back of the cereal box is just plain cardboard to keep it nice and clean looking, and I'm going to cut them out. Next, I chose to use Mod Podge for this. And well, Mod Podge, I've talked about it before. It does have plastic in it. It is a little bit stronger than glue, and I thought it might just add a little bit more sturdiness to it. But you could use glue for this, absolutely. And what I found worked really well for me was just to tap it on with a sponge and saturate the felt. And then we're just going to stick that baby down in cinnamon like that. And that's why I said the felt really helps, because it adds texture, because I want these to look like real gingerbread. Look at that. That looks like real gingerbread now, doesn't it? Awesome. So again, 5-minute DIY, you skip the cardboard part. You just use felt, put glue on it, slap it down with some cinnamon, and boom, you're done. And if you're not picky, you can even glue a craft stick on the back of it to make it firm. You don't have to use the cardboard and cut it out and everything. That's the 5-minute DIY. This one took me longer. This one actually took about 15 minutes, but it was still worth putting in the video, because I know with some small changes, you can easily turn this into a 5-minute DIY. It's very fast to do. So you can even put all the cereal boxes together and cut out, if you have really sharp scissors, cut out the gingerbread men, or at least 2 at a time. You could just use the cardboard that way and then just glue it and slam it down in cinnamon. But again, the felt does add the furriness to it, which really helps it look 3D, I guess. And then to hold the cinnamon on, and I've had really good luck with this, I'm just using some cheap hairspray from the Dollar Tree. Just cheap hairspray. I get the one that says extra, extra hold. Look for that one. Now, the 5-minute DIY version, you get some pre-made bows from Dollar Tree, which they sell those little tiny bows, and you just slap it down in cinnamon, put a bow on it, and you hang it up. We're making a garland, a gingerbread garland, but I really was in the mood to do it fancier, so I went for the puff paint. I did have to let it dry overnight because of that. You also can just paint the cereal box brown and like tap the paint on so it has some texture, or add some baking soda to it to give it texture, and then you can use a paint pen and just paint this on. If you really want like the white, you don't have the puffy paint, that's a really fast method too. You can use a white paint pen and do it that way, but there's all kinds of different ways you can do it, and I've seen plenty. In fact, I had gingerbread made out of salt dough, gingerbread men ornaments for my Christmas tree for years, and I had nothing on them. They were just plain. I just put a twine bow on their neck, and they were so cute. They were very primitive, but so cute. But I was in the mood to really make these look like gingerbread, cookies. So I did the whole little like baker's twine for a bow, the puffy paint, the whole bit. They dried overnight. This is the next morning. And I said 15 minutes, maybe it was like 20 minutes. It wasn't too long though. It wasn't too bad. It was worth it. And again, you don't have to go all out, do that. You can just make it really simple and fast. It'll be a 5-minute DIY for you. But I'm just gluing these down now to make the garland. We're making a garland. And I am using the Dollar Tree little pom-poms that you see up above in green, white, and red. And those are going to be like the little spacers, I guess, in between. It's what I'm going to hang. I needed to stretch these out and make them go farther because I didn't buy 2. If you want your garland to be longer, buy 2 of the felt sets or make more gingerbread men out of your cardboard. But I didn't have that, so I thought we're just going to put these little pom-poms in the middle, and look how cute and festive that looks. I thought that added a lot of like pizzazz, right? So I was having fun. I didn't want to rush this one. It's kind of funny because I knew this could be a really quick DIY, but I didn't want to. I was having fun, and we're all done, and I think this came up so cute. Look at that up close. It is so pretty. It's hanging in my kitchen. These are such an easy way to get a very high-end luxurious look. You just grab these $5 lanterns at the Dollar Tree. You can also DIY lanterns. There's lots of videos out there to do that too, and different methods. I've seen them made out of scrap wood, like free wood that people get from different places. You can look on Facebook Market. That's a lot of free wood. Sometimes Home Depot or Lowe's gives away free wood. But grab these $5 ones. It's really simple to do. And you're just going to start putting pretty things in the center of it. So I went with the Dollar Tree candle and some burlap that I got at Walmart really cheap. And I'm just going to put the burlap around the candle. Again, these are 5-minute DIYs for people who are last minute. They just want some Christmas festive stuff around their house. These are some great ideas for you. So I took the burlap, pulled the string, there's these like little, it's weaved in there like tic-tac-toe. And if you pull the little strings off the ends like you saw me do, then it leaves that little frayed edge, which is pretty for those of you that don't know that. And then I took one of those snowflake stickers again. These are so handy. If you see them at Dollar Tree, pick them up. They sparkle. Look at that. And they add so much to your DIYs. And they're easy. You don't have to glue them. They're already sticky. And then I used some of these little discs that I got from the Dollar Tree. Anything, you can use anything. The bottom of the lid, you just want to elevate your candle up a little bit, and then we're just going to toss some pine cones in there. I thought that was nice and high-end looking. It's just festive. These are little mini pine cones that I got off of Amazon, and I also take some red berries and toss those in as well. And of course, some other ideas that always work really well for these kind of things are florals like Christmas flowers or pine at the bottom. That always looks really festive and pretty and high-end as well. Glass jewels, even some rocks, depending on how you decorate around them, would work. But look at how nice this looks, and it was so fast and easy to do. this one, you're going to need one of those big soup cups from the Dollar Tree. They come in different colors, but I chose red, and some foam. And you're going to place the foam down inside the cup. Next, I have these reindeers. I love these so much. I think they're a great deal at Dollar Tree. They're still trending hot, and I just put a little bit of hot glue on the bottom and glued the reindeer down on top of the foam. Now, I don't know if that's a reindeer. That might just be a deer. But I glue the deer. I glue the deer down on the foam, and then you can put whatever you want inside here. I'm going with this white tree, and you just fill these little cups up with festive florals. I'm using different kinds of pine cones, berries. You start decorating, and in 5 minutes you have a super cute little centerpiece. If you have a buffet out, you can make several of these and put them in between the little trays. You can put them on a coffee bar. You can put them on if you have an island in the kitchen where you have hors d'oeuvres, you can put them there. You can even add a little electric candle in them. They're just so fun and interchangeable. Every year you can change the theme, and they're just a great little piece to pick up with a handle and just pop some little Christmas decor anywhere you need in the house where you might be missing it. I made a little bow here. Again, it's removable. So much fun. And if you guys don't know, I have the Facebook page. Be sure to check it out. I would love to see the crafts that you make. You can upload there under the tab mentions, and make sure it's public view, so I have a share option. If there's no share option, I can't share it, and I share it to the wall so others can enjoy it. That page took off this season. Oh my gosh, I think I got close to 7,000 people just in the last 2 months. We are having so much fun over there. And of course, I share other things there. I share my inspiration, stuff I find online that moves me. Be sure to check it out. Let me know which one was your favorite in today's video. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, here's another one I think you'll enjoy watching next.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas!